Days of Our Lives spoilers January 27th. Bones identified. Salem, January 27th, in a town where scandals are served with breakfast coffee and secrets are buried shallower than tulip bulbs. The earth itself has finally given up a grim truth. The Salem PD, in a tense press conference led by Commissioner Marlena Evans, a somber Dr. Marlena Evans Black standing in for an indisposed Rafe Hernandez, confirmed the unthinkable this morning. The human remains discovered last week in the overgrown patch of land locals grimly call the Bone Garden have been positively identified. The identity, however, is not just a name. It is a key, poised to unlock a cascade of questions that threaten to tear apart the very fabric of Salem's most powerful families. The bones belong to Lark Thorne, a charismatic and controversial environmental activist who vanished without a trace nearly 15 years ago. Thorne wasn't just any activist. He was the former fiancé of Sloan Peterson Brady and, more explosively, the arch-nemesis of Titan Industries. His fiery protests against Titan's ecological practices, particularly a proposed chemical plant on the riverfront, made him a thorn in the side of then CEO Victor Kiriakis. His disappearance was widely speculated to be a strategic retreat from harassment, a theory that Kiriakis' family quietly endorsed. Now, that theory lies shattered alongside his remains. The cause of death was blunt force trauma to the skull, Commissioner Evans stated, her professional demeanor barely masking a personal tremor. The location of the body, mere yards from the old Titan construction site boundary, paints a target of suspicion that Salem's elite are already scrambling to evade. A fractured dynasty reacts. The news has sent seismic shocks through Salem's founding dynasties. At the Kiriakis mansion, current Titan CEO Xander Cook is facing a boardroom in revolt. Victor's ghost is haunting us, and he's leaving skeletons in the literal garden, shouted one panicked shareholder. Xander, never one to shy from a fight, has vowed to protect the company's legacy, but sources close to him whisper he's privately furious, digging through old corporate files for any clue that might lead away from his inherited empire. Meanwhile, Brady Black, who now runs Titan's ecological division, is caught in a personal and professional maelstrom. His wife, Sloan, reportedly collapsed upon hearing the news and has barricaded herself in their penthouse, refusing to speak to anyone, including her own husband. Brady, torn between supporting his grieving wife and managing the PR nightmare for the company he's tried to reform, finds himself suspecting everyone, including the woman he loves. Was Sloan's past with Lark more complicated than she ever let on? But the surprises don't end there. In a stunning twist, private investigator Megan Hathaway, yes, that Megan, recently returned from her own seeming demise, has inserted herself into the investigation. Our sources reveal that Megan visited Commissioner Evans just hours before the press conference, presenting a faded photograph of Lark Thorne in a heated argument with John Black. The context of this argument remains unknown, but the implication is clear. The web of connections stretches into the most respected homes in Salem. A mother's grief, a daughter's quest. The most poignant reaction comes from an unexpected quarter. Kate Roberts, ever the resilient chameleon of Salem, was seen leaving the police station pale and shaken. It has now been confirmed that in the year before his disappearance, Lark Thorne had a brief, intensely private affair with Kate. While she believed it was over, a recent, confidential DNA test, initiated after the bones were found, has revealed a bombshell. Summer, a young intern currently working at The Spectator, is Lark Thorne's biological daughter. Kate, who gave the child up for adoption years ago to protect her from her own tumultuous life, is now consumed with a dual mission: shield her daughter from the coming storm and find her father's killer. Summer, a dogged journalist in the making, has other ideas and has already begun her own investigation, putting her squarely in the crosshairs of a killer who has walked free for 15 years. A town on the brink. The identification of Lark Thorne has turned Salem into a pressure cooker of paranoia. Old alliances are fracturing. The Diamera family, ever the opportunists, are allegedly using the chaos to poach Titan investors, with Stefan and Gabriel reportedly seen toasting to new beginnings at the bistro. At the Horton Town Square, whispers fill the air. Is the killer a titan of industry who silenced a nuisance? A former lover with a secret too dark to reveal? Or is there a third player, someone whose crime has been conveniently hidden by the shadow of the titan behemoth all these years? Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, when approached for comment at his clandestine lab, now operating above a Sweet Bits bakery, merely chuckled and said, "The bones tell a story, but only the living can animate it. And in Salem, the living are so very dramatic." When pressed on whether his reanimation expertise could be of use, he winked and disappeared behind a curtain. As January's chill tightens its grip on Salem, one thing is certain: the past is not just prologue. It is a corpse, laid bare on a cold metal slab. Commissioner Evans has assigned Jada Hunter to lead the task force, a move seen as a deliberate choice for an outsider with no entrenched loyalties. But in Salem, no one is ever truly an outsider for long. The identification is just the first sentence in a new, terrifying chapter. Who had the most to gain from Lark Thorne's silence? Who has been living a lie for 15 years? And as the investigation peels back the layers of deception, which of Salem's beloved pillars will be revealed to have feet of clay, stained with the earth of the Bone Garden? Stay tuned. Justice may be blind, but in Salem, it's about to get a spectacular and devastating, eye-opening. Spoiler alerts for next week. Sloane makes a shocking confession to Leo Stark, of all people. Xander discovers a hidden safe in Victor's old study, but its contents are stolen before he can open it. Summer's digging leads her to a clandestine midnight meeting at the docks, with someone wearing a familiar family ring. And in a moment of pure, gothic Salem horror, a single, fresh orchid is found placed on the now empty grave in the Bone Garden. The note reads, "Welcome back, Lark.